The bridge of the Korthax battlecruiser Dominance hummed with arrogant laughter. Commander Velcris stood tall on his four legs, his purple scales shimmering under the harsh lights. His crew of elite warriors watched the main screen with amusement. "Look at that pathetic thing," Velcris said, pointing a clawed finger at the image. "The humans call a warship? It moves like a dying space whale." On the screen floated the UES Persistence, a human vessel that looked more like a floating factory than a warship. It was blocky, covered in strange protrusions, and moved at half the speed of even the slowest Korthax transport ship. The ship's hull was a dull gray, scarred with what looked like patches and repairs. Lieutenant Thaka, the weapons officer, clicked his mandibles in disgust. "My grandfather's cargo hauler could outrun that piece of junk. How did these humans even reach space?" "They didn't reach space," Velcris corrected. "They crawled into it, just like they crawl everywhere else. Slow, weak, pathetic creatures. No claws, no scales, no natural weapons. They need machines for everything." The Korthax Empire had encountered humans only 3 months ago. The first contact had been almost laughable. While Korthax ships zipped through space at incredible speeds, human vessels plodded along like they were stuck in thick mud. The Korthax could jump between star systems in hours. Humans took days, sometimes weeks. "Sir," the communications officer interrupted. "The human ship is broadcasting a message." "Put it through," Velcris ordered, settling into his command throne. "Let's hear what these slugs have to say." The screen flickered, revealing a human face. Captain Sarah Chun looked tired but determined. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple style, and her brown eyes showed no fear. "Korthax vessel, this is Captain Chun of the United Earth Ship Persistence. You are entering human-claimed space. Please state your intentions." Velcris roared with laughter. "Human-claimed space? You can barely move through space, and you dare claim it." He activated his own communication system. "Human, I am Commander Velcris of the Korthax Empire. We go where we please. Your slow bucket of bolts couldn't stop us if you tried." Captain Chin's expression didn't change. "I'm asking you politely to turn back. This is your only warning." "Warning." Velcris stood up, all four legs spreading wide in a display of dominance. "You dare threaten the Korthax Empire? Your ship would need 3 days just to turn around." The human captain sighed. "Very well. Don't say we didn't warn you." The communication ended. Velcris turned to his crew, who were all chittering with amusement. "Did you hear that? They warned us. Navigate officer, plot a course straight through their so-called claimed space. Maximum speed." "Yes, Commander." The navigate officer's 6 fingers danced across his console. "We'll pass right by their position in 17 minutes. Weapons, charge all cannons," Velcris ordered. "Not that we'll need them. I want to see what these humans do when we fly circles around their pathetic ship." As the dominance accelerated, the crew watched the human ship on their sensors. The Persistence didn't move. It just sat there, floating in space like a dead rock. "They're not even trying to intercept us," Thaka observed. "Perhaps they've realized how hopeless it is." "Of course they have," Velcris said. "What could they possibly do? By the time their weapons systems warm up, we'll be in the next star system." But something strange appeared on the sensors. The human ship was doing something. Small objects were separating from its hull. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. "What are those?" the sensor operator asked, confused. "They're too small to be fighters. Too slow to be missiles." Velcris waved a dismissive claw. "Probably they're escape pods. The cowards are abandoning ship before we even fire." More laughter filled the bridge. The Dominance streaked through space at incredible speed, its advanced engines pushing it faster than any human vessel could dream of achieving. In minutes, they would pass the Persistence and continue into human space, proving once again that the Korthax were the superior species. "Sir," the sensor operator said, his voice suddenly uncertain. "Those objects from a human ship, they're spreading out. Thousands of them now. They're forming some kind of pattern." "Ignore them," Velcris commanded. "Focus on." An alarm suddenly screamed across the bridge. Then another, and another. "What's happening?" Velcris demanded. I don't know, sir. Our navigation system just went dark. Switching to backup. Backup is down too. Impossible. Bring us to full stop. I can't, sir. The engine controls aren't responding. We're flying blind at maximum speed. Velcris felt the first cold touch of fear in his chest. On the main screen, the human ship sat motionless, watching, waiting, and all around it, those tiny objects continued to spread like a vast net across space. The Dominants raced forward, unable to stop, unable to turn, heading straight into whatever trap the humans had set. The bridge of the Dominants descended into chaos. Warning lights flashed red across every console. The mighty Korthax battlecruiser, pride of the Empire's fleet, hurtled through space like a runaway meteor. Get those engines back online. Velcris roared, his claws digging into his command throne. I'm trying, sir. The engineering officer's 6 hands flew across multiple panels. Something's interfering with our systems. It's like something is eating our control signals. Through the main view screen, they could see the tiny objects the human ship had released. Up close, they looked like small metal spheres, no bigger than a Korthax's head. They floated harmlessly in space, doing nothing visible. Yet somehow, these simple devices had crippled their advanced warship. Weapons! Velcris barked. Destroy those things. Weapons are offline, sir. I can't even access the targeting computer. The sensor operator's scales had turned pale green with fear. Commander, those spheres, they're broadcasting something. Quadrillions of signals on every frequency. They're overwhelming our systems with pure noise. Velcris couldn't believe what he was hearing. Are you telling me the humans defeated our battlecruiser with noise? It's more than that, sir, the science officer reported, studying his still-functioning passive sensors. Each sphere is simple, almost primitive. But together, they've created an interference field that our computers can't process. Our systems are too advanced, too sensitive. They're drowning in the static. The Dominance continued its uncontrolled flight, passing within visual range of the Persistence. The human ship still hadn't moved. It just sat there, ugly and slow, watching the mighty Korthax vessel streak past like a helpless comet. Manual controls. Velcris ordered desperately. Switch everything to manual. We can't, sir. The Korthax haven't used manual controls in 500 years. Everything is automated, integrated. Without the computers, a new alarm sounded. This one made every Korthax on the bridge freeze in terror. Collision warning, the navigator screamed. There's an asteroid field ahead. Impact in 12 minutes. Velcris stared at the screen in horror. The Dominance was heading straight for a dense cluster of space rocks. Without navigation control, without engines, they would smash into the asteroids at full speed. Communications. Send a distress signal. I can't, sir. The interference is blocking everything. Through the chaos, a single clear signal somehow cut through the noise. Captain Chen's face appeared on the main screen again. Commander Velcris, she said calmly. I tried to warn you. You see, humans may be slow, but we're very, very patient. We knew we could never match your speed, so we didn't try. Instead, we prepared. You planned this. Velcris snarled. For 3 months, Chen confirmed. Ever since first contact, we studied your technology, your behavior, your arrogance. You were so focused on speed and power, you never considered other forms of warfare. Those spheres? We call them static mines. Each one costs less than a communication beacon to build. We've seeded millions of them throughout our space. Turn them off, Velcris demanded. You'll destroy us. Chen shook her head. You chose to ignore our warning. You called us slow, weak, pathetic. But there's something you should understand about humans, Commander. We survived on a death world not through speed or strength, but through intelligence and determination. We don't need to be fast when we can be smart. The asteroid field loomed larger on the screen. 10 minutes to impact. Please. Velcris's pride crumbled. We'll leave your space. We'll never return. Will you? Chen asked. Or will you come back with a larger fleet? Having learned from this encounter? No, Commander. The galaxy needs to learn that human space is not to be trifled with. You're monsters. Velcro spat. You would murder us all? Chen's expression finally changed, a small smile appearing on her face. Murder? Who said anything about murder? I told you, Commander. Humans are patient, and we're engineers. We don't just set traps. We build solutions. The screen changed to show a tactical display. The Persistence began to move. Slowly, painfully slowly by Korthak standards, but it was moving, and it was heading toward the asteroid field. Your ship has 8 minutes until impact, Chen continued. The Persistence will reach the interception point in 7 minutes and 43 seconds. We calculated this very carefully. Impossible. The navigator checked his readings. You're too slow. You can't reach us in time. Under normal circumstances, you'd be right, Chen agreed. But these aren't normal circumstances. You see, Commander, the Persistence isn't just a warship. It's a mobile factory. Those patches on our hull, they're not repairs. They're manufacturing bays. As if on cue, large sections of the Persistence's hull opened. Massive mechanical arms extended, deploying huge sheets of what looked like metal mesh. Catching nets, Chen explained. Another human invention. We use them for fishing on Earth. Scaled up, reinforced with carbon nanotube fibers, and deployed at exactly the right angle. Velcris watched in stunned silence as the Persistence positioned itself between the runaway battlecruiser and the asteroid field. The human ship deployed net after net, creating a vast web of ultra-strong fibers directly in the Dominance's path. You're going to try to catch us? Thaco whispered in disbelief. Like a fish, Chen confirmed. Your speed is about to become a liability, Commander. The faster you hit those nets, the more they'll slow you down. Physics is physics, even in space. The Dominance raced toward its fate, its crew watching helplessly as the human trap revealed its full cleverness. They had been outsmarted by a species they considered inferior, caught by a ship they mocked for its slowness, defeated by technology they dismissed as primitive. The nets waited ahead, spread like a spider's web across the stars. The Dominance hit the first catching net at devastating speed. The entire ship shuddered as the carbon nanotube fibers stretched, absorbing the incredible kinetic energy. The net didn't break. Instead, it wrapped around the battlecruiser's nose like a giant hand grabbing a thrown ball. Structural stress on the forward hull, the damage control officer reported. But we're slowing down. The second net hit. Then the third. Each impact sent shockwaves through the ship, but the deceleration was working. The humans' impossible fishing nets were actually stopping a vessel traveling at speeds that would turn most objects into plasma. Velcris gripped his throne as a ship bucked and twisted. Through the view screen, he could see the Persistence adjusting the net positions in real time, using mechanical arms the size of buildings to compensate for the Dominance's trajectory. Ow, he muttered. How did they know exactly where we'd be? Captain Chen's voice came through the speakers. 3 months of observation, Commander. We watched your patrol patterns, your preferred routes, your psychological tendencies. Korthak's ships always take the most direct path. You're predictable. And in space, predictable means vulnerable. Another net caught them, this one wrapping around the ship's midsection. The deceleration pressed everyone against their restraints. But it was working. The asteroid field, once minutes away from destroying them, began to look less threatening. Final net deploying, Chen announced. Brace yourselves. The last net was different. Instead of carbon nanotubes, it sparkled with an electric blue glow. When the Dominance hit it, every static mine in the area suddenly went dark. Our systems. The engineering officer couldn't believe his readings. They're coming back online. The final net carries an electromagnetic pulse specifically tuned to disable the static mines, Chen explained. Welcome back to the world of functioning technology, Commander. Though I'd recommend against trying to run. Your engines need at least an hour to fully restart after that kind of system crash. The Dominance floated in space, tangled in human nets like a captured beast. The asteroid field drifted past harmlessly, missing them by less than a kilometer. Around them, the disabled static mines tumbled like dead stars.